So, Mr. Justus, we want to know from you, since the NRM primary elections for Maracha East Constituency took place, it went on, but there were some issues that some of you candidates were not satisfied about, and we wanted to get a statement from you over the entire process. You can start for us with introduction.
Yeah. Good afternoon, viewers. This is Aduma Yeero Justus. I was one of the contestants in the just concluded NRM primaries for Member of Parliament Maracha East. Generally speaking, irregularities in elections begin right from the process. So for our case in Maracha East, we started noticing these irregularities right away. And this was, first of all, because of the involvement of our NRM chairperson and the ONC coordinator, who also doubles as a district NRM secretary, taking sides earlier. And indeed, this one, we suspected that would have costed the outcome of the primaries. Indeed, it did so. So when we proceeded with the joint campaigns, and when we went specifically to Drambu, I think all of you were very aware that there is a particular camp that organized themselves and put on the t-shirt of that particular candidate, and they boldly stated that I was not going to participate in the joint campaigns in Drambu that was organized in Bramali and Adu Trading Center. So of course, what transpired there was I was stoned and chased away, meaning that I did not participate in joint campaigns in Drambu. So by not participating, it means generally the outcome of the elections from there will be interfered with. Then if a candidate can be chased away and stoned, what about now the voters and the agents and supporters? Which means it is even going to, it was even, the experience was worse for the agents and supporters, and indeed it happened in that manner. Now let me go now to other details. One, in Drambu Oleba Town Council, particularly, there was a really interference of LCs, particularly at different levels, and the councillors. And what these people did was, for LCs, they pronounced themselves that anybody who will vote for me, especially in those sub-counties that I've just outlined, they would never help those people, especially whenever they come for help, or maybe they need a letter, they would never help them. And that one, of course, was an intimidation on the part of my agents from there. And as I speak to you now, in some of the polling stations, my agents were chased away. In some of the polling agents, elections started very late. In some of the polling agents,
stations,
polling stations, declaration forms were not given to my team. In some of the polling stations, multiple voting was encouraged. Even in some of them, registers were not followed. As I speak to you now, a certain group of women who volunteered really to, who already, of course, had the faith in me and still insisted on voting for me. Some of them actually lost their families, marriage, if I may say. A certain lady, for example, with a young baby, currently is actually not in her marriage, because the child was even removed away from her because she voted for me. Now, if we proceed again, there were alteration of results in some polling stations. We have got some information, credible information and evidence to justify that. And according to Electoral Commission, District Electoral Commission guidelines, all the results were supposed to arrive at the District Tally Center by around 4 p.m. Most of these results from other sub-counties came at around that time, with the exceptions of results from Drambu, Oleba Town Council, Oleba, and Paranga. And according to the credible information we have gathered, these results were all taken to Oleba Town Council first, and they were brought, some even arrived in the District Tally Center by around 9. So now there is no clear justification on why these results were first taken to Oleba sub-county and then, town council before they were transferred to District Tally Center. So all these things, if you can see, they clearly indicate that there were irregularities and of course the outcome couldn't come now as expected. In many of the tallying centers, polling stations, in those 4 sub-counties in Greater Oleba, there were a lot of cases of bribery, even on the site in the polling stations. For example, let me just give you a station that is in Wudu, around the BAT center, whereby you could notice that inside there was somebody who had money, and everybody who reported there was first of all called and given money. Then the person will be directed to join a particular line. Then to also add on, we have also noticed with the concern that all the students from Oleba City Secondary School were allowed to go to vote without whether you are registered or you are not registered. All these ones of course compromised the outcome of the election on that particular day. So now we are requesting the NRM Electoral Commission Tribunal to take actions and investigate these matters, and also possibly cancel all the results from those sub-counties, and then maybe see the possible way of also trying to make a reconciliation among the aggrieved parties. So this is maybe what I can say. I really thank you for this time.
Does your petition specifically need like a cancellation of election results from those 4 sub-counties you mentioned, or you wanted the entire process to be nullified and maybe the election?
For me, with the evidence we have, we just realized that the irregularities were particularly in those areas. So our interest is that, in the petition, is that the results from those 4 sub-counties should actually be nullified. Then the rest maybe can be maybe allowed. So that's what we have stated clearly. But that one, of course, can be done after the investigations. We have allowed the room for that.
In one of the statements you issued after the elections, you clearly indicated that you needed to go on with the aspirations of what you have for the people of Maracha. Now that the will of the people were not followed through voting the NRM structures, now in case this particular petition will not favor you, or in any case you deem that the tribunal doesn't do a lot of investigation and does not decide in your favor, are you going ahead to stand as an independent based on the voice of the people, or are you going to obey the policies of the party?
Yeah, I would like to categorically state that indeed, considering all the evidence that we have at the table, if the outcome of this petition does not come well, and if we feel that, because now I'm speaking on behalf of more than 8,000 people who really gave me their support. So if these people still insist I should continue as independent, because maybe if they feel that there was no clear justification to nullify, maybe to give us the clear maybe judgment, I think we'll proceed ahead, because it is our constitutional right to continue to participate in the general elections. So that's what I can state. I think we will now try to see past the final judgment to the electorates, because these ones knew what really took place, and indeed many of them have come to me personally. Some of them have called me requesting me to proceed, but as of now I'm giving a chance to the Electoral Commission Tribunal to proceed with because that is it is something that makes sense. Then immediately after this, then we'll decide as a team whether to continue as a team or not to. But as of now, all those who voted for me really feel that I should proceed ahead as an independent candidate if the outcome does not favor what they saw. Thank you.
Well, maybe for the records, from the Thursday's NRM elections, which was on 17th of July, the votes that we got were like Mr. Mante Karim got 4,060 votes. Then you, Mr. Aduma, got 8,310 votes. Then Dr. Tomwaliti Chandia got 10,454 votes. Then Mr. Aduma Patrick got 4,244 votes. Then Edema John Bosco got 483 votes. Then incumbent Ruth Molly Lema Tiondoro got 2,377 votes. That's according to the declaration form released by the district registrar for NRM. So from your own analysis, are all these people that you contested with, are they okay and happy with the outcome of the election? Or
immediately after the results were released, at least I've managed to reach out to all my comrades, and all of them are not really satisfied with the process and the outcome of the elections that took place on 17th. If you can also see, some of them have issued official statements condemning what actually took place during that time. So there is nobody who has actually come out in support of the outcomes. So I think indeed there were gaps. We pray that these gaps can be filled in, and some of the gaps were from the, I think, from the part of the Electoral Commission. Some of the gaps were, I think, from our NRM district leadership, and some of the gaps I can also say were maybe from the security. I think since the polling stations were too many, it was really impossible for the security and all these other teams to manage it very well, and that is why there were a lot of irregularities.
Maybe lastly from me, if there could be some recommendations from you to the NRM Secretariat in making sure how they can be able to organize the internal democracy, which is the campaign and also the elections, what will you suggest and propose to them to make sure that they incorporate and put into action in the next coming elections?
First of all, I would like to appreciate the NRM Secretariat, National NRM Secretariat. I would like to also acknowledge and appreciate our chairman for NRM, who has categorically also come out to condemn all the irregularities that took place during the primaries. For me, I think one of the recommendations that I will put across is any NRM member or top leadership who interferes or takes sides in the election maybe process should actually be removed from those posts, because we have seen this. Generally, this party is good, but there are some individuals who feel that they are more powerful than this party itself. So they try to abuse the power that is given to them. I think we are going to try to do everything within our own capacities to make sure that some of these things are stopped. Then the second thing is, I think I will suggest that maybe if the NRM still fails, elections should continue. I think a secret ballot will be my preferred option, because you know, those who were bribed had no choice, because if it was secret, I think they will simply go and tick their preferred candidates. And I can reliably say that some of my supporters changed on the last day, and some of them changed the day before after receiving money, and some of them almost also had issues, because if it was, I think, a ballot, I am very sure that the outcome would really not be the same. But now, since people were bribed and the money was given by agents who were also present in the polling stations, it was generally very difficult. So thirdly, I will also propose that NRM Secretariat Electoral Commission maybe considers also using the polling stations that are gazetted by National Electoral Commission, because generally speaking, these polling stations are generally few and it is easier to manage them, unlike leaving it in all the villages, which are really very many.
Maybe in some scenarios, because the one of election commission, they are more than the ones of NRM, because NRM conducts is their polling stations are just the villages. But if you go and check the records of EC, in some scenarios, in one village there could be like 4 or 5 polling stations. Would that not be costly?
No, I have had a moment to see the number of polling stations by Independent Electoral Commission, and I can reliably tell you, for example, the ones in my sub-county, that is Maracha Town Council, they are only 14. You see, but we have around 32 cells, which means generally they are fewer than the ones for NRM primaries. And I think the highest in all these sub-counties, the one for general, maybe National Electoral Commission, the ones gazetted are only in the whole district, I think are just 14. The one for Oleba Town Council, for example, they are 6. The one for Drambu, they are just 9. So I think they are generally fewer than these ones that we are for NRM. I will suggest that maybe NRM also considers using those polling stations instead of using every village.
Now, in those contested areas, which you said probably the results will be cancelled, in those declaration forms, did your agent sign? Or
there are actually 3 things here. One, some of the agents were paid to sign whatever they saw. 2, some of the agents were chased away. 3, the declaration forms were not given to some of the agents. So it was very difficult now to ascertain the transparency in those in the results.
Okay, thanks so much for your time.
You are most welcome. Choba neba aravina meriba perindundu adike azia madria tse maru Aduma Yeero Justus me biandra paso MP afa Maracha East yeri ma alia primary zenera M3 ma alianti. So asokianda pa Asia results fupir ma alia maybe pari rizori du te amani bizo fizo di ma aliaria amesuki e o beba ngabaro election di ma alia dozo pere ini dezori ari maze chicken ramukeko aluzori ayota madenera M3 ma alia chairman madenera M3 no school district leadership enera M3 e top candidate yaze pe erini campaign edini neko so e dozo ka afatia person amari de piki secretary enera M3 district area yazene o NC coordinator district ripie ukianda side yazene achizo candidate yazene pie so afatlere refer results ba ne compromise irizore pari anda man muzo drambu sub county area anire mini kiandara ba drambu ba fa supporters yazi candidate yazi anda man de mazirke edroki anda madalete ifin ma we dende participate join campaigns drambu ma alia ko email potivene on den ngwara police yara aya on de ba cover vinanda sadama alia live ara badre ni endara now adi di say su a campaign is openly joint campaigns there assessment if in sibare choki mukeko if in result dadiki definitely choki compromise era or dia man diare but ardi di me drote te di ma agents ki azini ma supporters ki e choki draw kongoni ruya te general speaking sound election this indeed ma supporters aziki ba draw ki wasi kalika sim line aziba azini join zo I drove in Paris pe malama agents kite so if in say results dozo drambua all about town councillors in all about diki e choki if in say fi de nemu keko results ni fike mu ba choki ameniko kavina de drambua de ma azi as in all about town councillors in all about ma alia elusi ziki ba influence ki e ezokini aguni vote be mani particularly ani aguda le drimu wara gadu te muzo wazi ingazo ane ichoke guda leni wara gafeko ifin si uridi ba azidi guardian wo af election back of community azidi kiri be kivene wasira dilo be ba wasidi kidilo were diki aya pari azidi ma alia kada ole ba town council ma alia ba mu anda ranzi school wa senior diki jipireni woro to register ko mi vote be so azi pari azidi pi malia mi vote be pari di malia mi vini mu be da malia fin sipari register kon ve koi e pati relo vote be eni lerle aya pari azidi pi malia mani suri election or veni pari di pi malia polling stations azidi pi malia vivilero azidi dekiru ata soromi kanda bani ler sa fazede ma dekiru sasi ma medoro sazia ma dero sawarosi pari azidi malia bagama agency pini declaration if in result slip ruda baga fekosi aya azidi kibaji azidi kije afa ezo edozo denga put election oro dusidini edozo ruda maalia ba azikiti rikivina da send awa ba vote be ba di pini kere rikisend awa so duba ni vote be zor maalia so e o dikifin si be di musende dubo ba di mu direct vote is line be adini line bagu send fepidane so amani di guard warisi iyo diki ebikenda ti ni mukeku diki o ayota election drianda marenera emuni gasiriki emeni pele ne ajiki odiki elnera em electoral commission ma tribunal ma aliade vini di ezo dinie dika electoral commission banda danisi sawa mu di ifin selection di koko sa robo ba ma trafadi ki sub county malia fin se do sa ro kare sa modri ba ma likito ngwa district tali senda ma alia ti amani suria results pari suedike na ole ba town council drambu azeni parangadiki ba tra afadiki ole ba town council waraka ba mukiji ata latest yaziri chaki seni nina the details of district tali center malia so amani nerisi reason ina fara tazo dale nga tuwa lori violate bele ayotanda electoral commission ni ba de kite so a edini ngoni kate chorarsi electoral commission ma investigate ya fadi ka investigate wo ka isu tendi odika mani edile leta results pari suora kiba malira dene so ajidianda odira odimana azo ay kosirado ma lo ye deliver kidi petition di agu amani anda su I participate e o irregularities di pima alia personal indiri e de bele mini ne andro amani chazo aleniade.
So maybe Mr. Justus girkas ba zini cho yo eyo ba ango su ole ba sub county ole ba tan council drum sub county and the paranga parta marzal ko ole ba tan council headquarter Naraka before they brought them to the district headquarter. But if you look at the practice that has been there in some scenarios, sub counties headquarter kokorki eke result di combine where they were created from, like Mayo for example Kijomoro, where Kajamar sub-county or Kortom council and the Wizuru, they share the same sub-county headquarter. So, work very harmonized, from the villages to the parishes and then Beji Korongwa headquarter Lamalia. And maybe in some scenarios, someone will argue that the Ovni would have been chosen harmonized or Rikoya. Because Drambu sub-county headquarter is
Drambu Nitsi. Katadre Bajilo Leba Town Council, Picoleba Ben Matatira. As kone Oleba Town Council, Oleba Sub-County Bakinga headquarters here da menjoyo. Tekiri ni si azoria, beji aziri kala aziri maalia, aziri debati de same location. Paranga minimiria paranga mafachi headquarters, which means from Paranga Ikenda Luigi Parangwai District Center, Tali Center maalia. Ayete vini ne Drambuma afa Sub-County ma headquarters. If in safara mavutire kivina ende jingwai afa. So reason di ninga jizo woro paria luara kare ifin da fedibele do amane gata orata ezokini e ma interest ya zianda oda ma aliati.
Okay.
Banda mietibal faro pada pie mi mudile nezokini ima mud tesa fezo idre de obizu kani choke votira ba itikara ngonare paso zo misira kan mitinga emu ayote nare mni bi ba kini akuka de remaria tebo ma sotinga pakala ron
ya eniara emu adada si set guidelines kira ni erisi election katefu ini grika mukersi by the body kingu paso agwaga prima vutia. And indeed the kata election amavu marchari taede nyane amata mini neda amata o afuri kokoro paso agwaga prima ngukwara te aledi amani election amavu di bike chimukeku ifin saluzore violate erinera ma guidelines and erin by election machikingonari violate bo so erin ezo dalerisi ba di mangukwa alfaro diki azili biki tendi mumavura kin le mama so paduru independent ro so odiman ediare amama dinga amamwadi follow adada sima mai bivinanda kroma pronounce o course dalera so edinga mani ediare ngoni amadinga process afa koti didi afa case didi ji then adijibo amama evidence amani chop adikiba ade evidence dikiba bon amadivini ifins madide onze ba alifo aropima dilier pima paria. And then badi diki gara tendi kiri ya piki afa judgment ifu pirasi kakiga ya pikira mama sopaku and then amamu ayote tediki lazima si ya piki judgments dasku e mafinga afa de dikadini mani ki representirisi mavini matirira amanga finals diaradini
alfa